What if someone could scroll through your thoughts like a TikTok feed, unfiltered, live, and terrifying? In X-Men, that's not a nightmare, that's just a Tuesday. Let's break down the brain-breaking science behind the most powerful minds in Marvel and find out what would happen if our own brains even tried to keep up. In the world of mutants, mental powers aren't just cool, they're world-altering. Professor X uses Cerebro to scan every mind on Earth. Jean Grey, bonded with the Phoenix Force, can reshape space-time with pure thought. Nate Grey creates alternate realities like he's designing video game maps. These aren't just party tricks. These are god-tier powers that bend the very fabric of reality. But here's the twist. Marvel doesn't treat them as magic. These are mutations, born from the human brain, just massively evolved. Which begs the question, how far is our brain from doing anything remotely like this? To answer that, we need to look at how psychic powers rank in the X-Men universe, and what separates a powerful mutant from an unstoppable one. Mental abilities in X-Men operate on a scale, alpha level, omega level, and beyond. Charles Xavier is the template. A master telepath who can read minds, communicate across thousands of miles, implant or erase memories, and shut down other telepaths. He's considered an alpha-level mutant, meaning powerful, but still with defined limits. His real weapon is Cerebro, a machine that amplifies his telepathic range to the entire planet. With it, he can detect every mutant on Earth. But using it isn't like plugging in a headset. The psychic overload has fried the minds of untrained users. In the wrong hands, Cerebro is lethal. Jean Grey is on another level. She's an omega-level mutant, defined by unlimited potential in one category. Her baseline telepathy and telekinesis already let her manipulate atomic structures, cross dimensions, and affect minds across planetary distances. But when Jean merges with the Phoenix Force, things get wild. In Rise of the Powers of X number 5, Jean battles Enigma, an AI that exists outside time and space. Not only does she win, she rewrites reality. Her psychic attacks ripple through space-time, permanently altering timelines. The twist? Jean is always one step from losing control. She walks the edge between cosmic savior and galactic extinction event. Then there's Nate Grey, aka X-Man, a lab-grown psychic superweapon created by Mr. Sinister. He doesn't have Jean's emotional baggage or Xavier's restraint. In Age of X-Man, Nate literally constructs an entire utopian universe from scratch. Not an illusion, a functioning alternate reality. He's called a living god, and some storylines hint he could outmatch even Phoenix Jean if pushed far enough. So how does Marvel rank this mental madness? First, alpha level. They have peak mutant abilities, but finite. Xavier fits here. Next is Omega level. No known upper limit. Jean and Nate both qualify. Beyond Omega, that's when you stop bending reality and start rewriting it. But that's fiction. Let's come back to our world. Could the human brain, as we know it, handle anything remotely close to this? The human brain is an astonishing machine. It holds roughly 86 billion neurons, each firing around 0.1 to 200 electrical signals per second, creating a storm of electrical activity that drives every thought, emotion, and memory. But let's talk power. Your brain uses around 20 watts of energy. That's about the same as a dim light bulb. It makes up only 2% of your body weight, but it burns through 20% of your total energy. In American terms, it's like having a device the size of 2 baseballs that eats as much energy as a mini fridge. Impressive? Sure, but not Cerebro levels impressive. To project thoughts across the globe, you need to boost brain output from 20 watts to over 10,000 watts. That's 13.4 horsepower, or the same as a home water heater running full blast. All that energy would instantly cook your brain. If your internal temperature climbs past 107.6 degrees Fahrenheit, brain proteins start to denature, neurons die, permanent damage sets in within minutes. This isn't a headache, it's fatal. And even if your brain didn't melt, it couldn't handle the data load. You process about 100 bits of conscious information per second. That's enough to have a conversation, drive a car, or solve a math problem. To read even 1 million minds at once, you'd need to process trillions of bits per second. That's like trying to stream every show on Netflix through a 2003 flip phone. It's not overload, it's annihilation. What would it take to build a real-world Cerebro? Start with signal strength. Brain signals are tiny, measured in microvolts. An EEG machine needs sensors touching your scalp just to get a decent read. Wireless mind reading? Nowhere near possible. Then you'd need a universal mental language, because every brain encodes thoughts differently, based on memory, culture, and experience. There's no binary code for emotion or memory. Even today's most advanced brain-computer interfaces, like the ones helping paralyzed patients move robotic limbs, can only decode very simple commands, like move left or select this letter. And they require invasive implants inside the skull. We're decades, maybe centuries, from reading full thoughts, let alone broadcasting them. Even if we could decode the signals, the human brain can't receive that much data. Flooding someone with that level of input would trigger disorientation, hallucinations, seizures, or even physical brain damage. So, if you really strap into a real-world Cerebro, best case, you faint. Worst case, your nervous system shuts down like a blown circuit. Despite all that science, millions still believe in real psychic abilities. Telepathy, clairvoyance, remote viewing, you name it. Like the Ganzfeld experiment, tried to prove telepathy by having one person send images to another across isolated rooms. Some results were slightly above random chance, but rarely. And most of those successes explained by flawed methods, unconscious body language cues, or plain coincidence. Then there's cold reading, a trick used by psychics to make random guesses sound accurate. They'll say something like, "You've been through recent hardship," and wait for a reaction. If you nod, they dig deeper. If you look confused, they pivot. It's not mind reading, it's psychology. And confirmation bias makes it worse. When someone predicts your future and gets it wrong, you forget. But when they nail one thing, you remember forever. Legendary skeptic James Randi famously offered $1 million to anyone who could prove supernatural powers under scientific testing. Nobody ever collected. So, if the science says no, why does belief persist? Because in moments of grief, confusion, or pain, people crave answers, and psychic powers offer something science often doesn't: certainty. Okay, science aside, what if you did have one of these powers, just for 24 hours? Let's say you got Xavier's mind-reading abilities. You could listen in on anyone, anywhere. Every hidden fear, every passing thought, every awkward moment. But could your brain handle it? Nope. Even with control, the emotional overload would be unbearable. You'd feel grief, joy, rage, trauma, all at once, multiplied by millions. That kind of input could shatter your sense of self. Disassociation, breakdown, identity collapse. It's not just science fiction, it's psychology. Now take Jean Grey. Her powers let her move objects with thought. Sounds awesome, until you realize what that really means. To move an object remotely, you need to apply precise force at the atomic level, interacting with molecules, bonds, and electromagnetic fields. We're talking quantum-level control. Even our most powerful supercomputers can't simulate this in real life. A human brain, even evolved, doesn't have the physical architecture to pull this off, let alone multitask it during a psychic space battle. And Nate Gray, creating an entire universe with thought? That's not just power, that's breaking casualty, rewriting the laws of physics, managing entropy, maintaining balance in a fabricated dimension. Yeah, No brain could do that. Not even close. The psychic powers of the X-Men are incredible, but when you strip away the fantasy and apply real neuroscience, they're not just impossible, they're deadly. Overheating, data overload, emotional collapse. Cerebro wouldn't evolve you, it'd destroy you. But here's the twist. Science is catching up in its own way. We've built brain-computer interfaces. People are moving prosthetic arms with thought. We've translated neural impulses into computer commands. That's real. That's today. We're not creating Phoenix-level telepaths anytime soon, but every step forward starts with imagination. And fiction? That's the blueprint for innovation. So, now it's your turn. If you could have one psychic power from the X-Men universe for just one day, which would you pick? Mind reading? Telekinesis? Memory erasing? Drop it in the comments, and let's see what your mutant mind would do. And if you love this breakdown of mutant minds and real-world brain science, hit like, smash that subscribe button, and turn on notifications, because next time we're diving even deeper into the unknown.